Stanley Dudrick. Number one, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. And you and your beautiful bride are always here right beside us, and we cherish that. But let me jump right on into it. With your distinguished career, your experience, your perspective, which is in fact global, what was it that caused you to be attracted to and to choose to affiliate with ADVOCARE?
Well, you're looking at an example of it out here in the audience. It's the people who have chosen to make ADVOCARE what it is, starting with the Regas family and the various advisors and boards and administration, staff. Everybody that I've met at ADVOCARE from the first time they asked me to come and give a lecture on protein and amino acids, I just fell in love with it. I remember this man and several other people, and everybody had a very positive attitude. Everybody trusted each other, they liked each other, and I'm a people person, and I like people to be happy and productive and healthy, and to be able to do all the things that God gave them the talent to do. And I sensed that there was a deep moral, ethical commitment, a personal commitment by everybody associated with ADVOCARE, more than any other organization of people I've ever known. And that's still true today, a dozen years later. And then when I got to thinking about the products that they were working on, I realized that ADVOCARE was trying to do with supplements what I was trying to do clinically with intravenous nutrition, fulfilling a need that couldn't be filled in the normal way. And that's what supplements are about. Everybody eats, everybody thinks they're the same, we're all human beings, and yet we're not. We know that from genes and everything else. But to be able to work with people who want to be their best and want to help their fellow man and woman be their best and work together to have that happen, I just couldn't resist it. And when I was asked to join the board, and I'd been asked to join a dozen other scientific boards in this country, I always refused because I didn't want to be affiliated with a company so that my scientific and clinical credibility wouldn't be challenged. But I knew with ADVOCARE, I didn't have that worry. And I said the first day I came here that if I ever thought that ADVOCARE was not fulfilling its pledge to make the safest, most efficacious, useful products to help mankind, I said if I ever thought that that no longer was the pledge or the motivation for the company, I would resign that day from the board. Well, you're still stuck with me. And it's because of what you do.
You know, Charlie Regas made the pledge to the scientific efforts of ADVOCARE that we will keep your white coat spotless. And surely that has been the case. Now let me zero in just a minute into the contribution that has in fact changed the world. Tell us about the development of intravenous nutrition.
Well, the intravenous nutrition development was something that I backed into because I was so frustrated with operating and taking care of critically ill patients and having a fair number of them die. I was at the University of Pennsylvania. We very rarely got what we called virgin cases. We often got cases that other doctors tried in other hospitals, got into trouble, and then shipped them into the university. And that was our purpose in life. But even we, after doing what I thought was a good job in the operating room, we lost patients. And every time we lost one, a part of me died with them. And I really was about to quit surgery because, as Jack Parr used to say on The Tonight Show, the operation was a success, but the patient died. And people would laugh at that. It used to really offend me. I said, we have to do something about that. And when I talked to my boss about why these people were dying, he said, they're starving to death because we can't feed them during a period of time when they're maximally stressed and all of their systems are not functioning optimally. And if we had some way to feed them, they would live. But they literally, organ by organ, system by system, would fail and they would die. I said, well, we have to be able to feed them by vein. And he said, well, a lot of people have tried for the last 300 years. He said, including me, meaning him. And he said, we've all failed. I said, well, Dr. Rhodes, I won't accept that. There has to be a way to do it. We just have to figure it out and get the technology and develop it. And that's where it started. And we picked a simple model, try to put all the nutrients you need together, just like we do here at ADVOCARE with our supplements. Try to get everything we think is needed in the right proportions, and try to get a little beagle puppies to grow. Nobody had ever done that in any animal species. So we got the puppies to grow for a year. Then we got a baby that you saw the picture of shortly ago, and we got the baby to grow for 2 years. That was another first. And after that, my life was just completely topsy-turvy. It's never been the same since then. And I've spent a lot of time trying to perfect mixtures of nutrients for individual patients with individual needs. And what it's taught me is that each of us, although we look alike, we are not. And I learned by putting intravenous feeding in precisely what a patient needs, and I can measure where they're deficient or excessive and tailor-make it to them. As Flip Wilson used to say, what you seize is what you get. What I would give to the patient by vein is what they got. You didn't have to worry about the gut and absorption. And I just learned so much about the importance of various nutrients that I was attracted to ADVOCARE, because they were doing by mouth what I had done by vein, and there wasn't any other real direct application to it. And we're still doing it. And you know, all of you are part of a research team. You may not think of yourselves as that, but when you go out and distribute ADVOCARE products to your clients or your friends, they will tell you whether they like it, whether they don't like it, whether it's doing what they expect, how it tastes, how it looks, how it feels, and they give you feedback. And then you give us the feedback up the ladder through the hierarchy at ADVOCARE. They give it over to us at the SciMed board. We mull it over and see what we can do to help make the product better to your liking, or if we can improve the quality in any way. That's what our job is to do. And so you haven't probably thought of it that way, but we need you as much as you think you need us. You're the final common pathway that makes it important, because what the patient gets is what you give them, and not what we decide should be put in packages for you. So my life has been consistent, and I've enjoyed the success I've had affiliated with you all.
Let me share just a quick personal story. Yes, go ahead and give that a round of applause. We'll go from one story to a much bigger picture here, Dr. Dudrick One, to celebrate and honor the work and the commitment that you've made. But my wife and I and our oldest son, Aaron, and his wife, Kara, 8 years ago, when our grandson, Luke, was born, he was in an incredibly difficult situation. And for many days at Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee, he was sustained by intravenous nutrition. You would be amazed to hear this. Roughly 3 years ago, the American Association of Neonatologists, and this is just the United States, you do understand this is global technology now, and this has benefited the world at large. But that particular society of neonatologists recognized Dr. Dudrick with an award because at that point in time, they were able to verify that a minimum of 10 million babies were alive at that point in time because of his work just in the United States alone.
This is what it's all about.
Now, there are many more stories, as you would certainly know. So Dr. Dudrick, the surprise is we collected some photographs and some stories, and we put a collage together, and we want you to watch it right here, all of you watch it on the screens, just another snapshot of what your work has meant to the world. Now let me ask, because those were all ADVOCARE families that you just saw. But since y'all are here, let's do this. If you have been the direct recipient of TPN, would you just please stand where you are right now? And if you have a family member who has benefited from TPN, would you stand, please? And all of you, one more time, express your appreciation to a man who has changed the world.
Thank you. You've all enriched my life. It's been great. Healing good Lord. ADVOCARE is just getting started. You ain't seen nothing yet.